Novaca nemamo da popravljamo baš stvari.
Nisu navikli plaćati karte, a novac je potreban.
Tužno, jadi bijeda, moramo biti u mraku.
Mladi trebaju više volontirati.
Ja samo želim tematske večeri.
Ali do duše, neki ne znaju kome se trebaju javiti.
Ja bih samo rekao da je program jako dobar i da se nadamo da će ga se što više uspjeti provesti.
Mladi u centru.
Dragi slušatelji, lijep pozdrav. Slušate emisiju Mladi u centru. Moje ime je Darija Rendulić, a današnja tema je Europska volonterska služba ili EVS. Europska volonterska služba dio je Erasmus Plus programa, a njen je glavni cilj razvijati solidarnost i jačati vrijednosti aktivnog građanstva i razumijevanja među mladima, odnosno stjecanja kompetencija. EVS omogućuje volonterima da provedu do 12 mjeseci u nekoj državi radeći na projektu. Pritom imaju priliku za osobno učenje, usavršavanje znanja i vještina te učenje o kulturi domaćina. Naša današnja gošća je Agathe Vieux koja je iz Francuske preko EVS-a došla u Karlovac i tu će ostati sljedećih 10 mjeseci. Agathe se jako trudi naučiti hrvatski jezik, ali će naš razgovor ipak biti na engleskom jeziku. Agathe, welcome to the show. Well, my first question is, how come that you came to Croatia, all the way from France to Croatia, to volunteer for 10 months?
At the beginning, my idea was to go abroad for 1 year, alone. So I made some research and I found the EVS opportunity. So I decided to apply to projects. At the beginning, I didn't really choose Croatia. I was always attracted by Balkan countries, especially near the Adriatic Sea. So I just sent a lot of applications from Slovenia to Greece. And I had some answers, and after I mostly chose the project before the country. And the project with Carpe Diem seemed very interesting. And after that, I just realized it was in Croatia. So okay, let's go to Croatia.
I just have to say that you're only 19 years old, right?
Yeah.
And I would say that it's quite a big step moving from France to Croatia. And what about your experiences so far in Croatia? Do you like it?
Of course. It's way better than I expected. It was the first time for me that I go to a country alone. I already traveled before, but it was always with some friends or with family. So it's just the first time for me that I'm going somewhere alone for a long period like this. And for the moment, it's just perfect opportunity for me because I met a lot of people. I'm learning a new language, and I can develop my understanding of a lot of different cultures. And it's very interesting, and it's very important, I think, for my own development.
Agathe, please tell our listeners, is it common in France for young people to travel and to volunteer all around Europe and maybe even the world?
What is common in France for the moment is Erasmus, so to go abroad to study. But EVS is not really famous in France. When I told my family and friends I will do this project, a lot of people didn't know about this, so I had to explain. And when I explained that, a lot of my friends were interested by this. So I think it's just the beginning, and a lot of French people, I think, are gonna do some projects like this because it's a great opportunity, so they start to understand.
Could you please describe our listeners the process? I mean, like very basic steps from searching the internet and finding EVS, then applying, and then arriving to Croatia. So what were the steps, of searching the net and then like, oh, well, I could apply to EVS?
At the beginning, you have to find a sending organization. So I just searched in my own city, and I found an organization that had the agreement to send people in EVS. So I just went to meet them, and they give me a website. It's a database of all the organizations in Europe that who can receive EVS volunteers like me. So after that, it's a big database. So you just have to contact all the organizations to see with them if they have projects for you, if they can receive you, and if we just can organize something. And after that, I met Carpe Diem crew, and we made a Skype at the beginning. And I don't know, it wasn't like a job interview, it was more relaxed, and it was very interesting. And they just asked me some questions about my motivations, why, if I was ready for this project, if I was motivated, and all these kind of things. And at the end, they chose me, and we organized my arrival in Croatia. So when I arrived alone, and they just came to pick me up at the airport, and we just started to talk, and now we are like friends, and it's perfect. I have some projects, I have some work, and I don't feel alone. I feel very integrated in Karlovac and in Carpe Diem. And I don't know, for the moment it's very interesting for me, and I'm not afraid to stay here during 1 year, almost 1 year. So it's okay.
Okay, Agate, I just have to emphasize that you are a volunteer. That means that you don't earn money here in Croatia, right? So what about your life expenses?
It's a project, so Carpe Diem applied for this project to the national agency who take care about EVS in general. So basically the European Commission is paying for my accommodation, my food, my travel costs to come to Croatia, and they give me pocket money too. So you can go to make an EVS in any country without any personal money, because it's a project, and that's why I think everybody can do it.
Yeah, that's very important, and that's why I asked you this, because a lot of young people think that they have to have like a lot of money to travel or to go somewhere, and that's very important because people have various opportunities and they can apply for projects as you did, and all their expenses are basically covered, right? Okay, what about the accommodation where you're staying in Karlovac? You don't have to give us your address, of course.
My apartment is very great. At the beginning, I remember when I arrived the first night, and we came to my apartment and they showed me how it was. And I was like, oh my God, it's like, oh, it's really cool. It's not big, but I mean, it's a nice apartment. I live very near from Carpe Diem. So, and very near from the other members of Carpe Diem, so I don't feel lost and I don't feel alone. And it's really nice because, I don't know, I'm just integrated in Carpe Diem neighborhood even. So.
Agate, please tell us, what is your project at the moment? What are you doing in Carpe Diem?
My main project is to promote EVS and youth mobility for people of Karlovac in general. So I didn't start yet because I just arrived, but I will go in some high school or in some information point to talk about my experience and to show to people that it's possible to go abroad, to volunteer abroad, and that basically they can do it too. I'm in charge to upload the Facebook page too, and I will give some French classes, and I'm in charge of creating the new calendar too. So I just start to make some projects, and for the moment it was mostly about observe Karlovac, observe Carpe Diem, and to understand how it works and how I have to include myself in it. But I have a lot of projects after that, and I hope it will be satisfying.
The main aim of the EVS is to develop various skills and competencies. So could you please tell us what do you expect that you will learn in Croatia?
On a personal point of view, it's I hope I will develop my understanding of differences in general about different cultures, different traditions, different people, and to develop my tolerance about it. And more on a professional, if I can say, point of view, I hope I will develop my understanding of youth in general, how to deal with them, how to make projects with them, and it's a field that it's very interesting for me, and I hope I will learn about it.
Agate, I just have to ask you about learning Croatian, because most of people in Croatia think that French is very, very hard language to learn. And I think that it would be very interesting for our listeners that you give us the opposite perspective. Is it hard for you to learn Croatian?
So I can say to Croatian people that Croatian language is very difficult to learn. I'm trying very hard, but it's very different from French or English. So for the moment, I know some words and I can recognize subjects when people are talking. But most of the time, I don't understand anything. So I am learning and it's difficult. So
Agate, I understand that you had some pretty funny anecdotes while learning Croatian and trying to understand. So maybe if you could share it with our listeners.
For example, when I arrived, just a few days after, I met Sandra, who is my teacher in Croatian. And she was always speaking to me about Carpe Diem members, and she was speaking to me about Domagoj all the time, Domagoj. And so at one point I just asked her, but what is Domagoj? I don't understand. And everybody laughed, and I understand that Domagoj was a guy.
Okay. That it's a common male name in Croatia.
Yeah, but it's a very not common name for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand at the beginning.
For how long have you been in Croatia so far?
For the moment, I'm here since 1 month and a half, almost.
My question was, have you ever felt homesick in Croatia?
For the moment, not at all. So for the moment, I'm feeling very great here and I want to stay, definitely. Maybe it will happen, but I know that I can talk about it and I can share it with the members of Carpe Diem, who are basically my friends now. So if it happens, I will deal with that, and I know that I won't be alone. So.
And if it happens, if you ever feel homesick, do you have a specific person, a kind of a mentor or somebody who can help you with your problems or with your, I don't know, feelings?
Yes, I have a mentor. It's a member of Carpe Diem, and it's right in the project that I have to know someone who is going to be here in case of any problems on a personal point of view. So, for example, if I feel homesick at one time, I have to talk with her and to express my feelings, and she will be there to deal with that, to explain me that I'm not alone, and we can share this problem.
As a young person, I suppose that you have friends in Croatia and that you're going out. So I would like you to be honest and to tell like your real opinion about Karlovac and about nightlife and various events. So are you satisfied with it, or do you expect something more?
I'm satisfied because Karlovac is not a big city, but it's okay for me because when you arrive somewhere and you don't know anything, I think it's better to be not in a crowded place all the time. So it's cool for me because during the week, Karlovac is quite
calm.
Yes. But during the weekend, I met a lot of Croatian people who are basically studying or in Zagreb or in Rijeka, but I can meet them on the weekend, and the nightlife is great for me in the weekend in Karlovac.
And where do you go out? Is it some pub or...
I really like Dermesh Club.
Dermesh? Yeah. That was quite good pronunciation.
Voilà. And I like Mala Scena too, and Papa's Bar.
Oh, that's nice. Would you like to give like the final word? I will write it down in Croatian so that you can read it. I think it would be very attractive for the listeners.
Dragi slušatelji, ja sam Agat Vjo. Ako imate pitanja o IVS-u, dođite u Centar za mlade u Gabriku.
Dragi slušatelji, bila je ovo Agate Vju, francuska volonterka koja će idućih 10 mjeseci provesti u Karlovcu. I sama Agate vas je pozvala ako imate bilo kakvih pitanja ili ako zapravo želite čuti još nešto više o njenom iskustvu, možete doći u Centar za mlade u Grabriku. Bila je ovo još jedna emisija Mladi u centru. Moje ime je Darija Rendulić i družit ćemo se iduće nedjelje u istom terminu.
Mladi u centru i Trend Radio.